Time to do another fat bomb. Very similar to my last video. We're going to do a little bit of change-ups. Let's go over the basic ingredients. First we have coconut oil, the largest ingredient there, all healthy fats. Chocolate choices you have, you can go ahead and melt down some of that 90 or even 100% cocoa. I like to use the, I don't know if you can read that, yeah, Dutch processed high-fat cocoa. As you can see here, it's about, was it 2 carbs per half tablespoon. So from there we go on to different flavorings you can use, extracts. Some people use vanilla. I've used vanilla. I've used orange extract before. Also, I really love using almond extract. Got your sweetener choices there. I do like using that. I do have to dissolve it in water, the sucralose. I could use stevia too. And of course, this time we'll be putting a nut in each one of our fat bombs. I like, personally, my favorite is Brazil nuts because they're big, and because I just like them. So I'll probably be doing that this time, or maybe I'll throw some cashews in them. But it's not going to be add much as far as carbs, because it's only going to be one basic little nut treat in each fat bomb. But it'll add a little texture, and like I said, it's kind of like a little treat. So those are our ingredients. I'll put the numbers up at some point during the video. And we'll get started. A little something about coconut oil. I know a lot of people live down south, but I live up here in Wisconsin where it's generally a little colder. And it's the middle of winter right now. So anything above 75 degrees or 76 degrees, and that's your coconut oil right now. Solid. But raise it up. If you can raise it up, I put this in the microwave. Make sure you get the aluminum coating. This one I can never get off quite, so I just put it in warm water if I want it. But it's a lot easier to measure if you make it into a liquid. So this took about 40 seconds to turn it from that to this in the microwave. And it makes it a lot easier for measuring, because I'm going to use one of these things here. And I find it a lot easier to work with instead of dealing with a solid like that. I forgot to mention the peanut butter. One of the main ingredients, along with the peanuts and with the coconut oil. So that the peanut butter is it will be 1 cup, because we're doing double the amount this time, and that'll give us 24 grams of carbs. And I'll total these up, and I'll have these on the screen at the end of the video. So we'll add that into our liquid. Double batch today. Okay, the mixture is all made, and now we're going to get ready to pour it in the molds. I've got a cute little candy mold that I got for Christmas. That's got the 12 days of Christmas on there, but it makes really nice thin wafers. Well, you could make them thick too if you wanted to, but it's a nice way to make something thin and a little bit less bulky. This is the old snowflake pattern silicone mold, as you can see. And these are just little mini muffin tins that work out really nice. And you'll see that after you freeze them, you just tip them over on the countertop and they'll pop right out. So now we're going to get my favorite nuts out of there, and we're going to put one in each of these candy molds. Actually, we'll put them in later in this one. Since this isn't segmented, as you can see, that's just a flat, but it's got the grooves so that when it does get solid, you just snap it like you would one of those candy bars or the Hershey's kind of things. I mixed them up a little bit. I got some with Brazil nuts, some with cashews. I'm just kind of getting enough to cover it. I don't want to make them really big. But you do want to get them kind of consistent. These ones I've got almonds in one, cashews in another. What are those, pecans? Or as my wife calls them, the undesirable nuts. Yeah, pecans. And then after you're done getting those, I'm going to make sure they're kind of equal. Try to fill up ones that look obviously less full. Shake them a little bit to get the nuts covered, so they're all covered with some chocolate. And we got to get this pan yet. This one's nice and easy because you just basically fill it in like you're paving a driveway. You don't want it really thick, but it's got to cover the whole thing. Okay, and I notice I do have one more to do. That's the one under here. You can turn it. Okay, we've got all of them in. That's 48 different servings. On the bigger ones here, the silicone tray, I've actually put a little less in these and a little bit more in these. They're not going to be perfect as far as size-wise, but they're all pretty close to being the same portion size. So I'll figure those out, divide it up by 48, and put it on here right now. But for right now, you take these. Since I live in a northern state, as you can see, we got plenty of snow, and these I'm just going to set them right on our picnic table here on the deck, where they'll cool, and about 15 minutes later they'll be solid, and I can take them out of the pans. So there you have it, 4 trays. And I'll just hold it here, and we'll get the final tallies for you as far as the nutrition, the nutrition and the fat content. I'll figure that out all for you right here. There you go. Thanks for watching, and keto on.